Now, for the second part, I'm going to talk about interface metaphor. Okay, an interface metaphor. Yeah, that's the correct one. Okay, the interface metaphor actually start with the word interface. You already know interface, but for metaphor actually uh, taking something new and explain it similar, something already familiar. Okay. Metaphor takes something that new for certain people and try to explain it, okay, using something already familiar. Okay, for example, desktop. For desktop, you have file, you have folder, you have trash, shopping chart, shopping cart, okay, not chart, shopping cart. Normally we have add, check out, so those are the things. Surfing the web, for example, moving through pages. So actually metaphor help user think how I get how this work. Okay, so means that you can relate some existing experience with new layout, new proposed idea, and many others. So example of interface metaphor, you can see conceptualizing what users are doing based on surfing the web, conceptual model instantiate at the interface or desktop metaphor, visualizing an operation, and many others. So most popular one, we have a cart metaphor. So if you look into McDonald's, when you want to order McDonald's or even KFC, you go through the screen of the kiosk, and then from there you can make an order. That one using cart metaphor, because cart metaphor is already familiar. If you see why most of application are utilizing cart metaphor, like Spotify, even Netflix also apply the same thing, because cart is actually already familiar with sorting, flipping, stacking, focus, and many others. Okay. So the benefit of using a good metaphor, it gives you easy learning, okay, allow innovation, expand accessibility, reduce cognitive load, okay. So cognitive is about intelligence as well. So when you apply metaphor, the correct metaphor or analogies, it gives you something interesting which is able to reduce the cognitive load of people. The good metaphor also able to help user predict the behavior of the system itself. Okay, so that's the benefit. And then problem with interface metaphor. Okay, so even metaphor is good, but they also have some problem. Okay, so break culture rules. So that's one of the problem. For example, if you're doing something like you put trash on the desktop, which is not very nice, isn't it? Normally we didn't put dustbin on the table, so that's a culture has been break. And then metaphor also gives some creativity limitation. Okay, and then you might also copy bad design, and then actually something not correctly put in the correct way, it become a bad design as well. So metaphor is actually is a tool. Okay, metaphor are tools that you can follow, but don't make it as a problem. Okay, so a lot of others problem that you can see that imagination limitation and many others. Okay, so activities you can try by your own, but I'm not going to give activities in this class. Okay, next I would like to go for interaction types. So this is the last part of the our lecture today. Interaction types, you can see we have 5 interaction types. So starting from instructing, conversing, manipulating, exploring, and responding. So these 5 types of interaction, normally we use it in our daily life. So we start with instruction. Instructing means that where someone instruct a system and tell it what to do. Okay, so user tell the system what to do. Okay, user, you or the user itself, you as a designer have to think about how user tell system what to do. For example, save, print, menu, command, and it become fast and efficient, because if the instruction is clear enough, it will be very good. Okay. You can see this is one of the example of vending machine. Which one is the easiest, why and why? So you can see in today's world, we have a lot of vending machine and that help you to get your food, okay, vending machine, and which one is the easiest way and so forth. Of course, the new one is better than the old one. Okay, the second interaction types is conversing. So when you deal with conversation, you are actually conversing. So it's underlying model of having conversation with another human. Okay, so for example, you talk with Siri's. Hi Siri's, how are you today? That one is a conversation. So the Siri also reply something, or maybe we can say chatbot. Chatbot actually following conversation interaction style. Okay, you might feel more natural. You might feel more powerful when you can converse with the system or robot itself. It also include like search engine or even a virtual agent, agentic AI, and many others. Okay, so pro and cons on conversation model. They still have some misunderstanding as a cons in conversation. It also allow people to interact with system with. Sometimes it's not very good. Okay, sometimes the conversation make things complicated even with a single thing. Okay, the next one is manipulating. Okay, manipulating is about drag, drop, zoom, swipe, and those are the things that are related with manipulating. It involves exploit someone knowledge on how they move and manipulate in the physical world. So for example, Photoshop. So you are manipulating images and then it bind into manipulating interaction style. Okay. Right. So number three, direct manipulation, still under manipulation. Direct manipulation means that you can direct change the object. Okay. Ben Schneiderman coined the term. There are three core properties of direct manipulation: continuously representing of the object and action of the interest, physical action and button pressing instead of ensuing command with a complex syntax, and rapid reversible action with immediate feedback on the object of interest. So that one is direct manipulation. I give you example of direct manipulation like this. You just click and drag, click and drag. So this is, you can refer to this website to understand more about direct manipulation. Even now, if you use your mobile phone, you can interact directly with your photos, do the editing. That one is an example of direct manipulation. So direct manipulation have a lot of benefit. Okay, one of them, it will give novices learn faster. Okay, experienced user can carry out wide range of tasks efficiently and rapidly and many other things. So you can read yourself. And then direct manipulation also have disadvantage. Okay, for example, some people take the metaphor of direct manipulation too literally. Okay, can become screen space gobbler, something. Some tasks are better achieved through delegation, for example, spell checking and so forth. So direct manipulation is not a perfect interaction, but it's one of the interaction style that you can choose from. So number 4 is about exploring. So it involves moving through a virtual or physical environment. So just for example, virtual reality, those kind of things are utilizing, exploring, okay? So user move through virtual or physical spaces. You know, one of the example are using a Google Map, data visualization, anything that related with data visualization can be bind with exploring, okay? Zooming and also something like. So this is an example of image in augmented reality. So when you see this tiger, actually it's not a real tiger. It look like a real tiger in augmented world. Okay. And then next you can see this is virtual reality interactions. So when you build interaction, what we call interactions types, you can choose exploring in virtual reality. Okay, if you do virtual reality. Number 5 is responding. So responding normally something like fitness tracker. Okay, fitness tracker send an alert. Okay, something happened to your body, it gives you some alert. So that one is a responding types. Okay, system take an initiative to alert user. Okay, System does this by detecting the location or something related with triggered or alert something. Okay, and then next we're talking about potential cons of system initiate notification. Okay, some notification actually disturbing you. Okay, so you can control the notification itself, but if you like the notification, you can enable them, especially on a mobile phone, for example. So a few questions. What does it do when it's getting something wrong? So system also, when they give something wrong, they have to apologize to the user. Okay, so that's the concept of interaction types. So when you build interface, you have to think about which interface is correct for specific tasks. So direct manipulation is good for doing tasks, and then, for example, designing drawing. Okay, issuing instruction is good for repetitive tasks. Having conversation is good for finding out information. Hybrid conception model are good for supporting multiple ways of carrying out some action. So in this case, I would suggest you to think about interaction type and which interaction type is suitable for you to apply in your problem space. Okay. So there are two different things that you have to understand: interaction types, interface style. Okay. So interaction types, the one that I told to you just now, there are 5 interactions types, but when you're talking about interface style, there are many. Okay, so you can use command line, menu based, or GUI, or even you can use gesture interaction or voice interactions. That one is interface style. So this is a interface style, command, speech, data entry. That one is interface style. A lot that based on current technology. But interaction style normally remain very, very old. Interaction style normally remain from the beginning of the foundation or finding, but interface style will change based on current technology. So you have here a lot, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the number is counting. Even we have brain interface style and many others. Okay. So which interaction style you choose, actually it's depend on case study. You have to understand the user. What are the user requirements? And so you have to understand the budget. Okay, let's say you consider a commercial project, the budget is also important for you to consider. Okay, and it also depend on sustainable of technology, in other words. So the last slide, to summary, developing a conceptual model involve, number 1, understanding the problem space, clear about assumption and claim, specifying how the proposed design will support people in their activities, and many others. And then the most important thing is when you start doing your interface or interaction design, you have to have a concept. This is what we call a concept model, which can representing as a high-level description of the product terms. Okay, what user can do with it, and concept that need to understand how to interact with it. So the last part is interaction type provide us a way of thinking about how to support user activities. Last but not least, before I end this lecture, I would like to give you a final thought that the great designer don't just build product, they design experience shaped by how human think. Okay, if users say this just makes sense, then you have succeeded. So this is a final thought from our topic today, which is a conceptualizing interaction that might be helpful for you to continue your journey of HCI. Okay, thank you listening for this lecture. I would say that's all for today meeting. See you next time.